Good morning. My name is Josh Berger. I'm the police chief here with Pasadena. It's an honor to be able to stand up here and get to preside over the ceremony. You know, the one thing I always say, I get to do a lot of fun things as chief, some not so fun things as chief, but probably my two favorite things to do are graduations because they're all excited. It doesn't last long, but they're excited at least for a short time period. And then promotions, same thing because they're excited, re-energized and ready to go. And sometimes it doesn't last long either, but that's going to be my challenge to you is to keep that going. Anybody that's ever heard me speak knows I like quotes. Robin Sharma once said, "Leadership is not about a title or designation. It's about impact, influence, and inspiration." And the one thing I'm going to say about all three of these folks is, while they are formally being promoted today and they are receiving a new title, all three of them are leaders within the organization, have been throughout their careers. They all have impact, influence, and inspiration. You know, the other thing before we get started, the three of them would not be sitting up here today without a supportive family and network behind them. And so I want to tell each of your family members that's here to support you today, thank you. Not just for the support to get you here every day, but it takes a strong family network to be able to do this job day in, day out, especially the last couple years. I say it a lot, you know, in my almost 25 years of policing, I think the last 2 or 3 years have probably been the most difficult in policing, whether it's from COVID to the post-George Floyd world that we're living in right now. And it just really is challenging, and it seems to change by the minute is what I say. You know, when I was a new sergeant, I don't remember a lot, but the one thing I remember is I went to a class, and I use this one a lot because it's so powerful, I think, especially now. One of the things the instructor said at the beginning, he said, your agency is one decision away from CNN, Fox News, and every other major media outlet being parked in your parking lot. And while it's a pretty simple statement, it really is pretty profound because today more than ever, that statement is very true. We're under scrutiny like we've never been before, which sometimes isn't a bad thing. We should be held to a higher standard. But the challenge as a supervisor or leading an organization right now is to try to keep your folks motivated to want to go out there and continue to work, and then trying to keep your folks well. That's one thing I think in law enforcement, if there's a plus in the last couple of years I think that we've done is more of a focus on the wellness of our officers from the garbage that they see day in and day out and trying to make sure that they stay well. Douglas MacArthur said, a true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the equality of his actions and the integrity of his intent. The one thing I'm going to say is we need decision makers. All of you have been promoted to make decisions. I say this a lot too. When I hear people talk about supervisors, one of the things I hear them talk about when they're frustrated with supervisors is they won't make a decision. I hear this quite a bit. I don't care if we go left or right, just make a decision and let's go that way. And so that's my challenge to you is make decisions, good ones, but make decisions. Elbert Hubbard said there's only one way to avoid criticism. Do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. And truer words could not be spoken. The other thing I say at promotion ceremonies is supervisors, you're going to work harder, well, you should work harder in the organization than you've ever worked. The higher you climb, the more accountability and responsibility that's going to be placed on your shoulders. And the thing I want to say as I close is I want to leave you with some encouragement. You're not alone in this journey. We're all here to help you and support you. The other thing I say often is just because you're an assistant chief, lieutenant, sergeant, or the chief doesn't necessarily mean you're the smartest person in the room. There are other people that are, a lot smarter than me. The key is know who those people are so that you can go to them for advice when you need it. The other thing is the rewarding part to me in being a supervisor is though you're not just responsible for yourself, you're responsible for those around you. And the rewarding part is to see the success of those folks that you lead. My last quote for the day before we get on to pinning is, this is an unknown person that said it, and anybody that's a sports fan will appreciate it. Our responsibility is getting all the players playing for the name on the front of the jersey and not the one on the back. And how true is that we're all on the same team? And before I pin, there's a couple people I want to recognize that are here today. Mayor Jeff Wagner, thank you for coming. The HR Director Trina White is in the back. Councilman Shanebine, I know, is right there. Thank you for coming. Christina Womack, the CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, is here. Thank you for coming out. I know there's a lot of other folks mixed in here, but I want to thank you all for coming out. And I say this too, is this city overwhelmingly supports this department. And that's one thing I try to remind folks is sometimes the rhetoric, and it's a small number of folks that are loud, and you can get lost in the noise. But the thing to remember at the end of the day, and that's for everybody in the room, all the law enforcement in the room, is to remember this city overwhelmingly supports our department, and we need to support them. So I'm going to begin the ceremony. Jesse, you'll come up here for me. And I'm going to invite your wife, Jen, to come on up. Marita's bio, and then his wife is going to pin his badge. Officer Jesse Baum was raised in League City and graduated from Clear Creek High School. Jesse graduated from Sam Houston State University in 2011 with a degree in criminal justice. Officer Baum entered the 67th class of the Pasadena Police Academy in 2013. He's worked both day shift and night shift patrol. Been on nights for a while now, haven't you? How many years?
Yes, sir. 7.
7. I'll change it up. We'll put you on evenings. How's that? Deal? Officer Baum's a field training officer and a member of the SRT team. He's married to his wife, Jen, and is the father of 2 stepchildren, Ethan and Ryan. And you get the right one. I'm making assistant chief if you want.
I'll take it.
I did stab you.
Congratulations.
All right. Well, I usually don't do speeches with all my awards and all that stuff, but I guess, Chief says you guys say something, you say something. So, I appreciate very much my family, my kids. Studying for this test was huge, and so I kind of neglected them for a week. So it was really peaceful for me, but I'm sure it was hectic for them. So thank y'all so much. Everyone supporting me in the back, my night shift guys. I appreciate it, guys. Go get some sleep after this. Other than that, I'm excited and ready to rock on. Thanks, Chief.
Invite Kelly Bowman and her husband Dave up.
Apparently Cassie's
Oh,
doing it.
or her daughter Cassie.
That's what I'm doing.
Last minute change. Kelly Bowman served in the U.S. Navy, where she trained to track, identify, and plot submarines, none of which correlated to become a police officer for the city of Pasadena in 2010. She spent almost 5 years on patrol, mostly on nights in North District, before being selected as a detective in the Persons Crime Division. After 3 years of investigation, she promoted to the rank of sergeant. She rotated through all 3 patrol shifts as a supervisor before settling in on night shift, where she also held the role of field training supervisor. In 2018, she was drafted for internal affairs, where she served for 2 years. Kelly then transferred to the administrative sergeant position in 2020. Aside from her day-to-day duties, she also enjoys serving on the cadet interview and disciplinary boards and being a member of the Chamber of Commerce's Impact Leadership Program. Kelly's been married to her husband Dave for almost 20 years. They have 5 children and 4 grandchildren, and hypothetically, when they all get along, it's awesome. Does it ever happen? Yeah, okay. They moved to Texas in 2007 to escape the ice and snow in Pennsylvania, and aside from the improved weather with the opportunities and friendships forged here over the years, they both agree it was the best decision they ever made. And the thing I would say about Kelly is she's worked in the chief's office for the last almost 2 years as administrative sergeant, and she's been my, right-hand man is not the appropriate term, my right-hand person in the chief's office, and just a huge asset that I'm losing, but the department's gaining another lieutenant. And so, again, while it's my loss, it's going to be the department's gain. The thing about Kelly, Kelly anticipated I'd go in there, hey, Kelly, can you work on this? I'm halfway done with it, Chief. I'm like, thank goodness, because we're behind. But she's just been a huge help, and she's going to be missed. Sticker.
You'll be grounded. I mean, there's JT, I had this great speech in my head, but now there's too many people here, so it's going to be a lot shorter. Plus, I need to leave room for the assistant chief to have some words. I don't know, I was thinking today about how many people have texted me and called me and everything, even when I was studying, just to make sure I was studying and everything. So I really appreciate the support I've gotten from everybody. And my biggest thing is just always want to make people proud, whether it's my family or, friends, coworkers, I just don't want to disappoint anybody. Even the photographer guy, I don't know. Is this good? But seriously, thank you all so much. And Dave and Cassie, thank you all for supporting me all the time. Everybody always thinks Dave's a cop, and he's always quick to tell him he's not. It's pretty funny. Even if I hand him my little driver's license that says veteran on it, and they say, "Thank you for your service, sir," I'm like, okay. And Cassie, she was going into second grade, and I went to pick her up from school with my marked patrol unit, and there was a little girl there, Issa, and she said to her, "Oh, your dad's a cop," and Cassie laid into her about how women can be police officers. So then her mom came up and introduced her to me, or introduced herself to me after hearing the story, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be in so much trouble. My daughter was sassy, I know it. And she said, no, I wanted to meet the mom whose daughter was so proud of her and her profession. So, I don't know. It's a good story. Thank you all so much.
Ready? Thomas Warnke, or Tom as he's known by many of us, is married to his wife, Dr. Kelly Warnke, and father to Scarlett and Hadley. He was raised in Pasadena and graduate of Sam Rayburn High School. Continues education by, it's Hadley, not Hadley, sorry, Hadley. He was raised in Pasadena, graduate of Sam Rayburn High School. He continues education by obtaining an associate's degree in criminal justice from San Jacinto Community College and a bachelor's degree in criminology from the University of Houston, Clear Lake. He joined the Pasadena Police Department in February of 2006 and graduated from the 58th Basic Police Academy. After graduation, he spent 3 years on evening shift patrol and transferred to the Financial Crimes Unit in January of 2010. Thomas was promoted to sergeant in May of 2011, transferred to night shift patrol, where he eventually took over the DWI task force in 2012. In 2013, he was assigned to the chief's office as administrative sergeant and attended the 260th session of the FBI National Academy. In 2016, he was promoted to lieutenant. As lieutenant, he has supervised the Criminal Investigations Division, night shift and day shift patrol. Furthermore, he's participated on the Academy Advisory Board, chaired the Cadet Review Board, and performed as a field training commander. Additionally, he's a proud graduate of Impact Pasadena in 2020. Let me say this. We're a civil service agency, so sergeants, lieutenants, they come up through a competitive process through a test. Assistant chief is the only position that I get to pick. This was a hard decision because I have so many qualified lieutenants, and so it's not that one is better than the other. It's who I can work with at the time or what I think I need at the time. And so while again there are many qualified candidates, I do know Tom will do an excellent job. I've had the opportunity to work alongside Tom for many years. Tom is very dedicated, and I know he's going to do a good job in this role. And Kelly, you want to come up and pin his badge? Surprise! Yeah.
I got notes. Hopefully I can stay on track. Chief, first, thanks for the opportunity to be able to continue to serve the department and city in this new role. Thank you to my wife, my parents are here, my in-laws, and family for supporting me. I think whenever you reach a milestone, you pause, reflect on what's passed and led you up to this point. I look around, I see many familiar faces, some that have retired, many that are still here that have had an impact on my career. I want to say thank you for your friendship, your guidance, and also encouragement over the years. The journey has never been alone for me, and the accomplishments are made possible by the investment you made in me. For all of us, policing has changed a lot over the years. Change can bring about challenges and opportunities. At times, I know it's easier for us to focus on challenges, but know that each of you make a difference in the community, and it's an opportunity we should feel blessed to have every day. In 2007, United States Marine Corps First Lieutenant Travis Manion told his family prior to his second deployment to Iraq, "If not me, then who?" Travis was killed in action while trying to save his teammates. His mantra still resonates with me. Each one of us took an oath as an officer, and it is up to us to go and answer the call of service. I look forward to continuing to serve alongside you in the years to come. Thank you.
I forgot retired Chief Mike Taylor. Thank you for coming out. That's going to conclude the ceremony, but one last time, Sergeant Jesse Hamilton, Lieutenant Kelly Bowman, and Assistant Chief Tom Warnke. A round of applause.